example I always use too, because that was the show, like, because I would point out, nobody watched Discovery on a grand level, but people tuned in for Picard because of what you just said. Like, you had the original cast coming back in, but I feel like that third season would have been a hell of a lot more successful had they not screwed the pooch in the first two, because that's when it drove off everybody else anyway, and they're just like, well, screw this shit. And that's kind of where we're at with all these things across the board for the most part. That's why I'm even surprised Alien did as good as it did. And I mean, really, I'm going to kind of steal basically Robert Meyer Burnett's tweet on this, because I don't disagree with his sentiment, but I'm going to add my sentiment to it, is what I'm saying. And that is that, like, in what universe would you normally say that a nerd would say no to a show set in Star Wars about a bunch of sexy lesbians? Nobody normally would say no to something like that as a geek, but we live in that world now. Isn't that fucking insane? Because they have turned this thing into such a political driven thing that they have gotten so far away from what used to drive these nerd cultures and geek cultures. Like, did you guys see that they even have like Lara Croft now having to apologize for being white, and that's why she's tomb raiding. Yeah, that's what's in this news show. Yeah, she has to basically apologize for tomb raiding by giving up all her things and apologizing for her whiteness. Basically, was the scene. I can't remember. That's not verbatim, but it's pretty close to what was said to her.
Jesus. I'm not surprised at all. You know who's the showrunner of that show? I believe it's still Tasha Huo, isn't it? Who's the showrunner?
Well, this is the animated one, so I don't.
Yes, I know. That's what I mean. Tasha
the
Huo,
one that,
I believe, is the one who was showrunner of the animated. We have to check if she's still.
Yeah, so this is not the one that Fleabag's a part of. I don't think.
No. This is the animated one for Netflix.
Christ.
And I have to check if she still is, but I do believe that at some point. That Tasha Huo is the showrunner. You know what Tasha Huo was attached to writing before? Red Sonja. Sonja, not the current iteration of Red Sonja, but she was the one who wrote the Red Sonja that was to be directed by Joey Soloway when it was all about gender and stuff like that in the thing that it no longer is, but yeah, so that's what Red Sonja almost would have been.
That was the trans director, right?
Yes, that is correct. That was the writer for it's still a trans director, but the previous trans director.
Can't have too many trans directors.
The current trans director is actually fairly decent. It was the previous trans director that was a full-on activist. So, yeah. Fans of Tomb Raider, they have another series to look forward to not seeing in the animated Tomb Raider. So that's
wow.
So yes, Lara Croft apologizing for her white privilege.
Wow.
And also she's a lesbian. I do believe.
Lesbian seagull.
In this animated version.
Yeah, I just saw the one clip or whatever where she was being chastised for her whiteness, basically.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Chastised by her lesbian lover.
Yeah, yes. Or is that what it was? Yeah. Some black chick. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Good for them. That's going to make everybody flock to the show.
Oh, that's the beauty. That's the one thing we should appreciate with these things. I mean, they make it so easy to take a stand by not watching it. And we see how efficient that can be now with the case of The Acolyte. People did amazing with The Acolyte, didn't even hate watch it. Instead of hate watching, people went to see the reaction channels and people like ourselves and our friends in this community, which is far better usage of their time than to actually see it as
absolutely.
Yeah. And then you can vote with your wallet, and your vote actually matters. So yeah, it's perfect. This is the system working and normalizing itself. So I look forward to the animated Tomb Raider being yet another massive flop here.
John Thomas sent in 5 and says, did y'all discuss Tomb Raider getting canceled? Yellow Flash posted a vid saying Amazon canned it. No, I did not. Well, we talked about it. but I didn't hear about it
That's
getting
a different.
canceled.
That was a different Tomb Raider. There's
Yeah.
2 Tomb Raider projects. The one that's not getting
So this is the
canceled.
live action Fleabag one
This
that's
is
getting
the
canceled.
live action
Yeah.
Fleabag Tomb Raider. If that is getting cast, first I hear of it. If that is true, fantastic. They dodged a bullet.
I've heard
too
about it
bad
too.
Yeah, what have you learned about it? What
No,
do
no,
you know?
I just heard that there's some rumors going
He
about.
said it's a rumor.
Right.
I don't know if
Okay.
you can join us real quick if you want to, Yellow Flash. I know you're probably busy with the kiddo, but yeah, if you want to come in and tell us what's up, I'll send you the link.
Yeah, just rumors in the Hollywood ether here in town. That's what I've
Well,
heard.
such rumors, they seldom come out of nowhere. So yeah, let's hope that
Maybe
whole thing
Hollywood's
has been
healing.
Loaded, because there is no reason on God Green's earth why you would want Fleabag to helm a Lara Croft series.
Especially after the way that Indiana Jones tanked.
The
Okay.
only person you want that even less to handle a Lara Croft series than Fleabag is Tasha Huo, who is handling it for Netflix, and that thing is definitely coming out. Unfortunately, luckily it's just animated, so it's easier to ignore, which is good because that's going to be a disaster.
And if I'm not mistaken, Homegirl's been paid, so
Oh, of course, she'll be fine. She's aristocracy to begin with, so it's not like she's missing money or anything.
Yeah. I think the tide has to turn. That tide has to turn on these things. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be very, very cool with another Tomb Raider reboot, but let's do something that aims to look at the Angelina Jolie movies and then do them better, or go back to the original games, and none of this wokey crap that we've been suffering the last few years here in the latest adaptation. To say nothing of the lesbian one where she's apologizing for her privilege.
Yeah. Honestly, then the other side of this is this goes for all these characters. Like, I get it, they're trying to ugify them all, but I don't understand the reasoning behind it, because other than maybe there's ugly women making them, and Fleabag is a great example of that, I suppose. Which, I mean, she cleans up okay, but I wouldn't say she's an ugly woman, but she's not exactly your traditional Hollywood beauty, let's say.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 AM Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.